it's more than just an art form, as it's a way of life. Because an art form, like it stops after the art show ends. A way of life continues night and day. It's like, it's like the SAS.
Killa Kela Podcast. KillaKelaOfficial.com.
Instagram UK Frontline.
Beatbox created.
Killa Kela.
And we're here to talk about world music and street culture.
Killa Kela Podcast.
Big shout out to our friends, Graffiti Kings. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Killa Kela Podcast, your weekly cultural platform, and without question, we're stepping in with some new guests that if you don't know, you should get to know. It's the Graff Special, and inside we have Reaz Spat, 1T crew.
Wait.
What were you saying, boys? You all right?
Yeah, doing good, mate.
Yeah, all good. All
Lovely
good.
to have you in.
Sweating it out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Roaster.
We were just saying that, the weather, for those of you that are not in real time, it's a pretty warm day today.
Mate, I feel like a baked potato. I'm not even joking. Yo, I feel like a lizard out here getting roasted in the sun.
Especially in between us. It's like the
Bruv.
sandwich is real.
Yeah.
But this is the weather for good graphing, isn't it? I mean, late nights, early mornings.
Yeah, lovely, man. Loving it right now. Out there every weekend, painting the walls.
Yeah.
Doing little productions with the boys.
Getting it in.
Yeah,
Trying to relive my youth every weekend and, perplex the nation as usual.
No way. I think that's the creative spark of anyone that's in the art world, isn't it? It's like the getting out there and doing it. It has to have this sweet spot, doesn't it?
It has to. If we didn't get out there, if we hadn't started saying a couple of years back, listen, we need to be on it every week, the payoff wouldn't be right now. We wouldn't be sitting as we are with the comfort now. Listen, we're doing our thing. We're known. We're repping the crew. People know who we are again. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we hadn't have taken our foot off and put our foot on the pedal, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. Other crews would be raising, like they'd be the ones like, yeah, we the G's, yeah, man, we're burning every weekend, man.
I feel that. That creative burn, that energy and desire. You know what I mean? It's like
you got to make a plan and then follow through. Do you know what I mean? If you see the mission or the spot, or you plan to do a walk, you can plan it for 2-3 weeks. If you don't do it, you know what I mean?
eat your whole man.
Yeah.
There's no payoff.
It won't happen eventually. So.
To be fair, if I'm really honest with you, especially with these Graff ones, I mean, you guys were no exception when it come to the burn. I was like keen and, I was on it. I wanted to make sure you guys got in, like a lot of the guys. So, it's an itch, isn't it? It's like, I need that to happen. That has to happen.
Of course, 100%.
Well, yeah, it's a mutual thing, you know what I'm saying?
It's the wave, isn't it?
Doing as well, you know
it's the wave. It's the wave.
Enough
It's the
respect,
wave. Killa Kela, bruv, you've been there from day one anyway. You know about this because you're a local man, do you know what I mean? So you feel it just as much as we do. You know the vibe, and you can see when the Kings are coming back, so...
Yeah, for real.
You jumped on it quickly, do you know what I mean? Like, it's quickly.
So, but it all kind of started, especially for you, it started like around this area, right?
Northwest,
West
West London, North Weezy, damn right.
Yeah.
25 years ago, more or less, do you know what I mean? That's when I really started venturing into graffiti, and like just taking an interest in it, I used to catch the bus around here and I'd see like a mean and a diet like across the bridge, and I'd be like, whoa, what is that? Like just confused, like it's amazing, wow, perplexed. And then getting started secondary school, seeing info pieces and stuff, it really blew my mind. Like, and 25 years later, I'm still enthralled like I was when I was 12, seeing my first mean piece. Like,
that is beautiful.
Graffiti still, it traps me like even more powerful today than then, and West London Graff, probably I'd say my book is the most stylish, the most fanciful, the most outrageous, the most daring, do you know what I mean? And I'm happy to have been part of it, to be honest.
That's amazing.
And like to have been taught by it,
What about you, Spat? What about you?
Well, I came in a bit late into the game, do you know what I mean? And I'm come from just outside London, but still sort of southwest way.
Southwest.
Yeah. And I came up, and the first writers I really come in contact with were friends. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't long before our paths crossed, and it showed me the way. You know what I mean? Showed me brought me in,
That's
introduced me
sick.
to the right people.
the
You know what I'm
right
saying?
time.
Showed me like how to get down and do the thing.
I mean, I've never been a writer myself. I've been a huge enthusiast, and I'm keen. You know what I mean? I could throw a book out like the rest of them, but there's something definitely of a calling when it comes to when you find your creative thing. It becomes like that desire. It's like it's all you want to do. It's actually all you just want to do.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
24/7. Yo, listen, I still now, I've got like a piece of paper on the side of my bed with an outline. I'll be sketching before I go to sleep. Yo, it's real.
See, that's
the legacy
exactly
is
what I
real.
want to hear.
The legacy is real,
Exactly.
bro.
Yeah.
Listen, when it's Graff, like, it just don't stop. It's
Reaz
about
always had the work rate. You would get a black book and he'd have done 7-8 pages and
pieces.
and
like
I'm
4
doing
pieces.
tags, just trying to like work it out. But he already had it when I've met him.
It's
do
the
you know what I mean?
blueprint.
So,
I think it's the blueprint. I think, when I started graphing properly, 95, 96, I was rolling with TCP, IMS, which is Bond, Dre, Sheck, Tend.
Oh yeah.
And they had the blueprint, like the black books were just off the chain, like full colour pieces. And as a kid, 13, 14, you're watching everything diligently. Like, you're basically setting, this is where I want to be in 5 years from now. You're setting your path. So when later on meeting newer school from a newer generation, like 99, 2000, we were then holding on to like the grail. Because not many other people had seen those things, like, which were part of like folklore now in Graff history. So we were bringing that and trying to make sure that that part of it stayed true till today. Like my black books, the way I approach a black book or whatever, is still the same because I'm still trying to get it perfect, like how I knew it to be. If you see what I'm saying, the blueprint was always there, and then we passed that on.
yeah,
Like,
well, I bought into that immediately because that's the style of graph that I was drawn to in the first place. It was DDS, TKS, and that's that line, the
MTS,
Southwest
FBS.
line, MTS,
The whole
LGL,
South line, bro.
yeah,
that
yeah.
was used to get. I remember traveling because I'm from Crawley ways, right? FKF boys, hold tight, and I remember like you'd see that transition happen between Colston and South. You see Zoned,
Yeah,
and then through Zoned,
FDC,
bit of memo, and then into some take, and then some next thing you insert
yes.
FDC, bam, bam. You know what I mean? It's like
and
ooh.
Aztec and Known, always looking at their big things they used to have on the top of the tower blocks
Known
and
used
that.
to fucking
So
smash it.
Stylo, Mir, big massive things.
come
Dane
on.
always used to have the
Yeah.
bits round there.
So it was
Dane
that
used to smash it.
90s style for me, that early 90s, mid 90s, and then I came along at the tail end of it. But that was the style I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? So
You already had the blueprint. That's what it is. It's like these years, the formative years, you're putting so much in your mind's like a sponge. Like you're taking in all these crews from like all over the area, north, west, south, east, and you're kind of saying, well, this is the building blocks. Like the lines are being formed, like in your mind and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So similar to us, like we used to be round here, West London. We'd see tube throw ups or like a diet throw up or a mean throw up, and you'd be like, what is that? That is amazing. Like, and then you'd start putting 2 and 2 together. Oh, that's him, and he's that guy, and then Cliff, KTC, Ace, me. Everything starts to appear together, and
This
then
is what's happening here with the podcast. Like, I'm getting info and stories. Things are kind of, and I'm doing these things rapidly. I'm doing them by the day just to catch up on myself. The stories are now starting to merge together. It's almost like a tapestry of history.
yeah, of
It's
course.
fucking incredible.
Of course, because it's undocumented, really. Like, apart from like a couple of magazines that come about every other year and stuff, it's still undocumented. London Graff history isn't told the way it should be. Like, it's like, Banksy comes along, then, people take a few photos of Graff writers, may get into the mainstream for a little bit, but only a select few, and it's still not the gutter. Do you know what I mean? And people want that raw. You want the raw. You listen to hip hop. You don't want to listen to Ja Rule all day. You want to mix it up. You want to have a little bit of non-fiction. You want to put some Jedi mind tricks. You know what I'm saying? You want some dilated people. You want to flip it up, and then you got your mainstay. So it's like that. We feel like the history's still not documented. So like now, like the podcast we're having today, and like some of the stuff we're doing, just to keep it relevant.
But a lot of the characters from back in that era, though, they're coming back now. And that's beautiful to see. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like going back in time now. You look at the lines, and there's certain names that have been there, like as you know, on the same journey as you almost, that you relate to them, and
Yep.
you know, and it keeps you going on to know that.
Yep, damn right. And
There's
few
something
crews,
at the
CBM
end of it,
crew,
you
that's
know?
exactly coming through as well, like a, you know, like a renaissance, like that West, that real wild style, and CBM killing it right now. Big props to Met, Crept, and all of the famo, because you know it's giving me
boys.
the like, okay, boy,
do
you know,
this,
and
yeah.
it kind of puts us in that like '94 kind of league, like when CBM were killing it back then. It's like, whoa, yeah, shit, we're the that young guy. Oh, yeah, that's us, right?
Actually, that's an interesting thought. Like, as you was talking, it's like, what's the? Because people are coming back. They're coming back for all the right reasons, I believe. And what it is it's almost like there's been an upgrade of like all sorts. Whether it's like the caps, the cans, the way you can go out and rush a spot, or you know, there's a lot more celebration.
There's more freedom to paint now,
man.
yeah, whereas
Even
a lot
on
of
the-
people will probably stop because of the legal side of things. You know, it weren't that their passion for the graffiti stopped, but
They couldn't.
they probably had kids, or you know, they got a big prison sentence, or they're
Something, yeah.
caught up in the
Life takes
probation
over.
or something. Yeah,
Life
something
takes
gets
over.
in the way of that. But I think once you maybe step back and get your life more in order at a certain age, then when you come back to graffiti, it's a bit more of a different attitude. Do you know what I'm saying? Which
Even
is-
if you come back as a hobby, like it's something that you could do forever. There's no age limit to graffiti. You know, there's no time when I say, well, I'm at 60 years old, I'm going to stop. Nah, I'll probably be getting out there and doing bigger and better things I'm doing today. Because your mind doesn't stop evolving, does it? You know?
That's right. I think also there is a much more of a level head to some of the people that are used. I mean, arguably, the notorious will always be the notorious, right? But there is a softening of the edges. The corners
well,
aren't
that's
so.
youth, isn't it? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's young people who are angry, and you know, they're working out where their position in life. Do you know what I mean? And all of
And
that.
as you get older, you don't really need to worry about that
Yeah,
no more. Do you?
Yeah. I think graffiti was like that for us growing up. You know, it was easy to like, you know, go out there and be the person you wanted to be, or your alter ego. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And put away some of the angst
It
that
was
you were
a
feeling
mask
at
a lot
home,
of the
or
time,
in the
yeah.
ends, it was that the perfect mask, the perfect sedative. Do you know what I mean? To a world that is literally crumbling or going too fast around you. Do you know what I mean? So we had like Graff to be that little.
That's deep.
You
Yeah,
know,
right.
listen, I remember back in the day, Scott Free, my good friend Blink, also SB, like we was homeless, like 15, 16, had nowhere to live. If it weren't for Graff, like putting us together at the same time, we got up, we hit bare yards, but we were homeless. We had nowhere to live. We were sleeping at Reading Platform. Do you know what I mean? We were sleeping at like Me-Rock's house like all weekend. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, hold tight,
we
Me-Rock. Yeah,
we were sofa surfing, hold tight TKS, Kill YouTuber, Me-Rock, all the man them.
There you go.
Like it was hard in them days, but Graff like managed to put us all together at the right time, so we maximised off that situation, which was harsh. Like, you know,
That's
government weren't
interesting.
helping us.
Yeah, that's right. No, that makes
You know
sense.
what I mean?
Because there's a heavy lifestyle with Graff, but actually, once you get into the routine of the lifestyle, actually you survive, which you
Yeah,
wouldn't do
mate.
if you had no creative
Yeah, mate.
response to
Hey,
anything.
Listen, we were north faced out from day one. Because Graff taught us the golden rule. Do you know what I mean? The five finger discount and that. But do you know what I mean? It gave
The magic
us
bag. Pick up the magic bag.
It's more than just an art form, as it's a way of life. Because an art form, like it stops after the art show ends. A way of life continues night and day. It's like, you know, it's like the SAS.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's constant training. You're going up level by level. You're meeting more writers. You're getting more distinction. They're accredited for more works. The acclaim goes up. You meet writers who start bigging you up and say, I've seen your work, man. Oh, I like that thing that you're doing. You're like, okay, gassed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like, God rest his soul, Robbo, 484, the King,
RIP, all right.
Team Robbo all day.
All day.
I remember meeting Robbo, like, guys like was like 7 foot. I'm looking up like he's at the bar and he's like, "You alright, King?" You saying, mate? Put his arm around me. I felt like the God. I felt like this guy just. I'm top of the 7 foot tall guy's shoulders, like, and he's like bigging me up, making me feel my worth. Those moments you can't replace it. It's just one of a kind. Do you know what I mean? And I've had numerous missions like that in Graff, like where it's proved like, yep, tick, tick, tick.
You're doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing. I'm on the right path. This is exactly
These are the
how
right
I would
people.
have wanted it to be when I started from day one. I was in the learner's seat. And like we had the 1T CBM bash recently. It went off.
Trellick,
the Trellick, the bash at Trellick. It was the lick. A lot of writers there.
Unity of
style.
Yeah, mate.
Like a style of peoples. Like, do you know what I mean? It meant a lot. That's like the culmination, literally 20 years. Of us just putting in constantly, going through the mill. I've been nicked for Graff. I've done my time. Do you know what I mean? I've been on London Tonight, like with my face up, and and it's not nice, but literally, like I wouldn't take it back for the world. That set me apart. It told me which route I was supposed to go down. I done a million things that more than I would have done probably before that day. Graffiti thrust you into the position for its own benefit. Like, remember, we're keeping Graff alive. Like,
the good outweighs the bad, always.
Yeah.
It's your output. Definitely. It's what you do, So, Spat, where did it all begin? Where did it all begin for you?
Just riding the trains, just seeing the graffiti. That's where it decided I wanted to do it. And, it was almost like it was meant to be. I met Touch and Blink. They lived near me, and they used to come to my local town and rob the budgeons, met them, and they brought me in. Do you know what I mean? Big up DT crew. That was one of the first crews I was in, and SB.
Bosk Track,
yeah. Hold tight, Touch as well, man.
Yeah, big up Touch, another brother, soul brother. But just sort of like started going to squat parties. That was a big influence for me. That's what really
we
brought
can't
me
forget
into
the squat scene. The squat scene made us. DDS crew at squat party. Yeah.
So we used to meet under the clock at Waterloo, 10 o'clock, and there'd be 20, 30, 50, 100 people. And then we'd all go as a big crew,
I've heard stories about this. It just sounds biblical.
It was immense, And on the way there,
own London,
it was
walking in a gang like that.
Yeah.
All waved off our nuts.
But I'd always be there, and I'd have paint, So I'd stick in the throng, and I would batter it all the way there,
How do you think we got up during 97 to 99? Like, it was literally every weekend, different location, different party, all over Manor House. Archway, Stratford,
and at that time,
Brent, everywhere. Like,
at that time, there would be 50 writers in the squat party. Wow. So you connected all the dots. You ended up going on
dodgy stories
missions
from
in
squat
the week.
Parties, boy.
Really? None they want to indulge,
No, I can't divulge the secret. The code.
That's the squat party.
Too much debauchery.
Well, we all know what it is. It's we've all been there. But as you grow up, it's good while it lasted.
Yeah,
but
squats are always a good bubble.
Yeah, man.
It's the danger element combined with
Well, we were the danger
freedom.
element.
It was danger and freedom all at the same time, because you were in an environment where you could do whatever the fuck you wanted. You could do a piece on the wall. No one would say nothing. I could just start dubbing the wall. In fact, I could smash the wall with a sledgehammer if I wanted to.
And no one would really batter at all.
No one would bat an eyelid. No one would bat an eyelid. So. But then I think we saw a lot of damage get done to other crews at Squat Party, and that's what drawed me out of it. I was like, you know what, these guys are getting it's toe for toe fighting every week.
Really?
West against it. A crew from West would meet like 1T, or a crew from North would meet 1T, and it Seal and Surf, the kings of 1T, the original crew. Yeah. Everyone knows the stories, brother. People just. I think Seal and Surf very well. Yeah. So you know the story. Yeah. Like, they've got this fist first and then the spray can with the fist and a front quickly on your nose.
Oh, shit. Hold tight, Graffiti Kings.
Hold tight, 1T, you know what time it is. One time. Yeah.
Listen,
that's
those
the
are, like
root.
you say, those are the things that shape you, right? Those are the golden kind of moments in your... I don't know, man. You wouldn't take it back, would you?
No, well, the culture was horrible anyway, so we had to make a stand. We had to build our own path.
Manhood training, man.
You're going to be a follower. So at that time it was us, and we were like a family, and we survived together. In each other's pockets, homeless together.
There's certainly a respect.
Had kids the same time. Do you know what I mean? Become adults more or less the same time.
Prison sentences.
Prison all the same time, business, university. Do you know what I mean? We've done it all in the same
tried things, failed, tried again. Yeah. But we always come back to ourselves, because that's the crew, you know. We've always stayed strong as a team, you know what I mean? Even though we bring in other younger writers, we always try and bring in the youngers and give them a little badge of honour or something to see them
keep
through,
it alive,
you know?
to be honest. To keep it alive, like what happened to us. It wasn't it wasn't out of the blue that it just happened to us. We were chosen in some sense. We were gifted at art. Do you know what I mean? Leadership qualities about us. Yeah. So we look for those in the next generation, because the next generation is where it's going to happen again. Once again, diverse. London is diverse enough as it is already. So you meet people from all walks of life, and I think that's where it is. That's why we bring in so much people, you know, to keep the message going. Because
it's inclusive. It's not an exclusive thing. That's not what we're into, because we've been excluded from a lot of stuff, whether that's our own choosing or not, you know. But especially as young kids, we see them get excluded as well, you know, and all the funding for the arts is fucked up. So we're trying to now build some youth projects which actually benefit the young people, rather than give them some half-assed shoestring budget.
Graffiti for one day and then it's all over, and the kids don't know a damn thing. You know, still caught up in gang violence.
Sometimes it takes some, call them prospects, you know, the graffiti, the young guns. It takes them a while to, you know, get rid of the shyness and be completely impulsive with their creating
and being themselves.
Other people, they just catch them straight away and it's like woof, off they go. Some people take a little bit more burn.
Well, that's us. We've always been them guys, you know. We're not young anymore, you know. Really and truthfully, we're still struggling on the same struggle that we always were, but
on the mortal level. We all go through the same
every time round it comes a little bit
better,
man, a bit clearer and a bit closer, you know, to that sort of ultimate lifestyle where we're painting every day. And
we would like to be painting in New York, San Francisco, like flying to Rome quickly, you know. But that will come, because that's part of what we want, you know, like to do a little bit more of Europe, see the world, you know, go and meet some more of our friends that we've made already, go and see them in their hometown and enjoy Graff on that level, like the freedom that it does give you, you know.
Well, you've worked so hard on a ground level to build a profile, consistency. I mean, London don't take no prisoners. For any creative people nowadays, I often,
rest in peace Asset, rest in peace Pow, you know, rest in peace Veko, Ganja. You know, so many writers passed away. You wouldn't even have thought that it would ever happen. You know, London is vicious.
It's vicious.
Yes, the cycle is brutal.
It's brutal, and you know, even the music heads that come through. Often I think to myself, I'm like, wow, man, like, how do people sustain? How do they live in London? I mean, I ask myself that, for myself. I mean, it must be hard for Graff writers.
Well, we listen to Task Force and Skinny Man, you know what I mean, through the whole journey, and they've, you know what I mean, they basically sing about what we're going through. So
you know, listen to
the music's always been important. The hip hop is where we come from. Kung Fu days back in Camden in the underworld. You know what I mean? That's where. Do you know what I mean? That man gave us a bit of recognition to say, you're doing your thing, Graff, these are the Graffers.
I remember you from back in the day.
And ATG, they always showed us love, and you know what I mean?
That's right,
amazing,
that's right.
Beautiful.
Literally, look, we lost Asset like last year. We lost Asset, we lost Power, we lost influential writers.
Crazy.
So, you know,
such close proximity.
As I said, this cycle of London, you know, it's so quick. Do you know what I mean? It's like here today, gone tomorrow. Something's in today. Those guys were benchmarks in what they did. Powell, who passed away, you know, the fuck Boris bit he done, you know,
crazy,
and ironically, Boris Johnson just got voted in as the PM. But you know, that message of what Powell said is always in the back of our head. Fuck Boris. Pardon me, I'm not against anyone here. I'm just saying what it is. Like, do you know what I mean?
Of course,
you know,
absolutely.
Asset doing his work abroad, going and working with the kids in Nepal. Those are things that superheroes do, like mega moves, and he's kind of like the test. Like he set the bar. So it's given us a choice. We could go out, abroad, hit Israel or Palestine and do some work. Do you know what I mean? Because we got the power to do it. We haven't met this is a gift. I realized that recently. That what I do is a gift. You want to call it God, the creator, essence, it's a gift. And you got to feel blessed to have it, but you got to maintain it, and you got to take it as far as it can go.
On your ideas as well. Do you know what I mean?
Act on it.
It's easy to get caught up in the day to day, and you put things to the side and all of that. But
you've got to fight through that. You've got to fight through the day to day stuff.
Yeah. And you do that together. You know what I mean? You can't do it on your own. You need that.
Time flies,
team,
bro.
You know what I mean?
It's like a mirror, isn't it? We reflect each other and stuff, man, and can give a little feedback on this year's trivial and so forth, and this year's plans and stuff, and we've done well. 1-2 Graffiti, that's a little thing that we've running together and stuff, and putting ourselves about, man, it
starting a little shop
and
now,
really sticking with it, like not just like, okay, we're gonna do this and I'll chat to you in a couple of weeks and that's in like 6 months. Do you know what I mean? No, it's like every day we phone each other, update. What are we doing? All right, let's get the jumpers out. All right, we're gonna do the show with Kella. Do you know what I mean? Doing this, doing some youth work, doing this.
I can feel the energy from you guys. Like, there is a lot of momentum going on here.
Momentum, man.
I'm definitely feeling that.
Yeah, well, we've always had it. We've always been more of a positive force in graffiti, and
got to
try
pay
to
that karma,
encourage
man.
people.
Got to pay that karma, man. I've done too much negative stuff. I've smashed a lot of stuff. Like I've got to repay. I feel like that. We as graffiti writers, we do a lot of damage to the community. So if you can put in, do it as quick as possible. Pay for some of those them life debts you got. You know what I mean? And every writer knows that. You've gone in and you battered it. So get a little back. Yeah. It's only going to repay you anyway in the long run. Do you know what I mean? And that's the essence.
Do you think writers think like that? Do you think
it takes time to get there?
It does take time
to get there.
It
takes time to get there. When you're smashing it every week, you don't want to be told, bro, allow it, you're going in. No, 30 years later, you want to be like, oh, you went in,
because you didn't really smash anything. You know what I mean? You put the paint on the train, or you put the paint on the wall. It's not like in your heart. It's hard to admit or to even acknowledge that some criminal damage. No, not really, mate. It's just criminal damage. You know what I mean?
I constantly have this argument, like it's such a crazy notion that beef is created over art, and how problems are created just because someone puts art on something. It's like, what? Well, like you're gonna get put away for doing art like that. What?
Exactly.
It's fucking insane.
And that's why beef gets so strong. That's why beefs get so strong, because we doing something like, when I put my tag up, I could get nicked for that. I could do bad. I could get fined. So if another writer disrespects that, the level of it is like, it's not just like you just scrabbled out my name. It's not just that. Like, you're tampering on private property here. Do you know what I mean? Like, there should be a secret sign saying there's a £1,000 fine if you go over my tag. Do you know what I mean? It's the same as that. Like, it's a secret line. Like, and beefs go through the roof just over like one person lining out one person, and then everybody else getting dragged in, and it causing the World War VII and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
But because the stakes are high.
And in graffiti terms, that's a lot. Like when all your pieces are getting wiped out, or your fraps are getting dissed every corner and stuff, and you're wasting your time going out either stealing the paint, or some people buying the paint, or what. It hurts.
That totally makes sense. The way you've just explained that now actually adds further value to the significancy.
It's like Marth Rothko, whatever his name. They went in and damaged the piece. Like, it's like that. Like, what? No one's backing us though. When Rail Track takes one of our bits out, we should be like, yo, dude, that was like graffiti history, man. No, Boris, no, you need to pay me. Like, I need 70,000 for that now. Do you know what I mean? Like, yo, you just wiped out a priceless bit of work, like Banksy and Robbo. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh my,
you know what I'm saying? So there's levels to this. There's levels.
That was like one of the last great beefs, wasn't it? Let's really think about it.
It was.
I don't think there was one with that much coverage and crazy.
It was publicised. It was publicised.
It opened the doors anyway for a lot of the people to scratch beneath the surface of Banksy. You know what I mean? And there's loads of artists that are much better than Banksy. You know what I'm saying? But Robbo being a prime example. You know what I mean? So that was nice. I think
Robbo's the king, so there's a difference. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, it worked out at the time, but Robbo passed away after that. So
not too far after.
To be honest, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was good publicity for him, but he was a king anyway, regardless. And like Banksy just took the piss and took him out. Like he needed to do that to show fealty.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Quickly show the fealty, so you're career don't take a plummet or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
There become that period where I don't know. There's enough notoriety going around with the whole Banksy street art thing, which I personally, you know, from outside looking in, I think it kind of adds an extra level of tapestry to what is going on in the UK and worldwide. It's almost like now, and a lot of it is because of the Robbo and Banksy beef, there's become this like acceptance.
Yeah, user friendly.
Yeah.
Like graffiti's,
Yeah.
we could put on a high vis now and just go in the middle of the street and just wrap up a piece quickly, make it look neat, and people will be calm. Like generally, no one's going to complain anymore.
Yeah, no one's
like,
going to snitch.
No one's going to no one's going to snitch because it's like, oh yeah, they must have a reason. Like graffiti is that acceptable.
It's at that stage now.
At that, imagine 20 years from now.
So we take advantage of that, you know, as much as possible. And it's
scary.
Paint on the street now. It's easy to find a spot.
Like we would never have done that 10 years ago.
No.
Like some of the like street side bits we've just done 10 man and we don't semi have permission, but we've just gone in and just gone with it.
Yeah.
And everyone's dropped burners, everyone even have people coming in offering us work like, yeah, we love this. Would you come and do some work around the corner?
That's incredible.
You know what I mean? Like
Self-serving awesomeness.
Yeah. It's
Hey.
perpetual, you know what I mean? If you
That's
paint
the
in
level,
in
like-
the public eye, then
Yeah.
you're gonna meet someone. They're gonna want it.
Yeah,
So,
it's like busking, isn't it?
yeah, similar.
kind of-
Well, busking,
Similar.
they put more restriction on busking.
Probably could
There
put a
is
hat down.
actually no restriction. There's no guideline that's actually set up for graffiti writers or street artists, to be honest. There is no guideline like, oh, street artists aren't allowed to do this based on public road law of this law of that law, and there is nothing set up for us. So we are in that legal black hole. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A permission slip, a phone number, and that's all we need. Do you know what I mean?
Well, actually,
Like-
I've been speaking to XYZ geezer from the council, and you know, take up. Here's a piece of paper.
That's the next level. When the council
Fake it.
bother to get involved with us and come and work with us, because, you know, we're the ones who've got a solution for some of these street problems, seeing as we've come from the streets ourselves and that. And the council never really put their hand, they don't, you know. Like, you know.
That does my head in that they.
You've got to have a
really does
middleman
my
or
head
someone who knows this person or that person, instead of them like just, you know, putting some funding in for the youth club so they can do murals in the areas for the young boys who may be passing away, so people can be reminded that death is tragic and we need life. And unfortunately, the government is happy to let London look like a mess. Do you know what I mean? And you know, no one's got a voice that can be championed. You know, as I said, you know, we're sitting there waiting. There's so many people like us, like-minded people, in positions where we could actually do something. But as I said, we've got to write a 50-page thesis. So you know, Mr. Bob Clark at the head of someone can go, bloody rubbish. Right, that's go in line with what we do here.
The old guard is slowly winning
You
out.
know?
Yeah, they're coming around though. You know what I mean?
You know?
As you get older, you know, you're growing up around with your peers more, and people do want graffiti now. It's everywhere. It's
So,
easy
yeah,
now.
it is.
People are crying out for it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are catching on, and they're going out and making their path for themselves, and that's great. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's the head on the people's approaches shoulders. Like, you imagine being
The
a 21-year-old.
attitude's changed.
Imagine being that 21-year-old approaching someone who's like 48, 49.
Yeah.
It's a whole
You
different
ain't getting
thing
the
when
job,
you're in your 30s, mid-30s yourself, and you're having a course. They know that you're from that background.
They can feel the experience and they buy into it straight away. Buy into it straight away. But those are specific niches and markets. Do you know what I mean? We can go in and use our artistic, you know, prowess, but not in every situation, nah. You know, no, I don't think like. I think more like with the council and stuff like that. Nah, they're the police. Nah, do you know what I mean? We're still.
You don't want to go that
We're
close.
still unless we've got that tick, that slip, or that permission. We're still criminals. You know, graff isn't legal. You know, by any means. And big shouts to the man them who are putting their life out on the line, putting their neck on the line every day, killing it. You know, hitting the yards, doing the trains, keeping that alive. Do you know what I mean? And you know, not saying that I would not do that or don't do that. It's part and parcel of graffiti history. It's what we do. Do you know what I mean? So big up the people
You can't
out
take
there.
that jungle out of the cat. It's
yeah.
impossible.
You know, the council ain't shaking our hands at this moment in time. Maybe there'll come a time, but right now it is what it is. You know, it is what it is.